Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing my June historical events video. Today in history I chose to do the signing of the Magna Carta by King John in 1215 on June 15th. He signed it under quite a bit of duress from his barons, if I remember correctly, because he wanted to up taxes, I think for his daughter's wedding, but I could be very wrong because 1215 is not my area of expertise. At any rate, let's get into the books. The first one is the Federalist Papers by Madison, Hamilton, and Jay. These are 18th century writings defending the United States Constitution to the public, and there's a whole rap from Hamilton going through my head right now, but I won't subject you to that. At any rate, I'm really excited to read these because they do defend our Constitution, and there are parts of it that I agree with, parts of it that I don't, and with all the controversy these days about gun rights and racism, it'll be very interesting to see what the Founding Fathers thought about a lot of these issues. This one is American Political Writings in the Founding Era by Charles Heinemann and Donald Lutz. This one is what it says it is. It's a chunk of a book that I picked up back when I was researching the Mayflower Compact's impact on our Constitution. And I'm excited to read it because I do like Lutz's writing. It's very easy to read, but I also know that I have to wait a little bit to read this book because it is going to take a lot of mental effort from me. Then I decided to go back several centuries, further than the Magna Carta, with The Edge of the Empire by Bronwyn Riley. This book is about the Roman expansion up to Hadrian's Wall. I chose this one because the Romans were really big on republicanism. If I had a book about the Greeks and their democracy, I would probably read that one, but the only one I can think of is Utopia. That's not right. Is Plato's Republic, and I've already read that, and it's not here, so it'd be a little bit harder to read. At any rate, also a nonfiction, and I'm excited to read this one because it's Rome, set in Britain, and it's nonfiction, and I don't really know anything about Rome, except maybe what TV shows say. Then I have Comparative Constitutional Law by Mark Kende, which is a collection of cases from countries all around the world, but namely South Africa, because it is a comparison of South Africa's constitution with many others. I chose this one because South Africa's constitution is one of the most recent I know, having been ratified in 1997. That said, I really enjoy comparing South Africa's constitution to ours and to what I know of the UK's, so seeing how the Magna Carta affected South Africa's constitution is something that I think will be a very interesting reading experience. I then have England, Slaves, and Freedom from 1776 to 1838 by James Walvin. This is actually a really short book, but I haven't read it yet either. It is about England, slaves, and freedom, and I thought that would be really interesting because the period mentioned, 76 to 38, is during the time when the abolition movement was really big in the UK, and in 1807 they abolished the slave trade, and in 1833 they abolished the slavery itself. It was still legal in some colonies, but for the most part they abolished it completely. Very excited to read this because slavery was such a big problem in the US Constitution, and I don't know that much about it, so it'd be interesting to see England's relationship. And the last one, probably the most relevant one I've spoken of to date, the Magna Carta by Dan Jones. This is obviously about the Magna Carta itself, why King John was made to sign it, why the barons got angry, what it was, the meaning of it, all that fun stuff. And I am very excited to read it. I was thrilled when I saw it in Barnes & Noble in the bargain section because I love Dan Jones's writing style. It's just very personable and fast, and also I want to learn about the Magna Carta. I've read about the Plantagenets and all that 1400 stuff, but I know very little about King John besides Richard is off fighting in the Crusades, which don't get me started on, and John is left at home and forced to sign the Magna Carta. That's all I know, and so I'm really excited to read this book, as much of a history nerd as that makes me. I proudly admit it. Those are the 6 books I want to read related to the Magna Carta, which was signed over 800 years ago, 803 if we're being specific. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. I post every Tuesday and Saturday, sometimes with bonus videos, so if you want to be notified every time I update, you can hit that little bell icon down below as well. I will leave my Goodreads linked in the description, and if you want to check out what I read. But until my next video, bye.